The price at which the government offers to sell food grains lower than the market price is known as. Excellent. Issue price is a brilliant choice. People having enough food of appropriate quality available on a consistent basis refers to dash. Strong choice. Food availability is the right answer.
Which organization is responsible for maintaining buffer stock of food grains in India?
You chose Food Corporation of India, and it is correct. Organization in charge of monitoring the various aspects of food insecurity and hunger. Bravo, FO is the answer.
When all people at all times have access to sufficient, safe and nutritious food dash.
Sharp thinking. Food security is the right choice. Dimension of food security that considers production, imports, storage, and food aid. Excellent choice. Availability is the right answer.
Which scheme was introduced by the PDs for the poorest of the poor in the year 2000?
Right again. An End Rice project is a valid answer. The continent that has the most countries suffering from a lack of food security is... Well picked. Africa is the correct answer.
In which of the following states do we find large number of food insecure people?
Perfect. Bihar, Jharkhand, West Bengal is the correct choice.
What is Malaysia's rank out of 113 countries in the Global Security Index in 2019? Nicely done. 28 is a solid answer. The price of food crops that is announced before the sowing season is called dash. Right choice. Minimum support prices is the best answer. Which of the following is an external factor that can influence food security? Good job. Your answer climate changes works well here.
According to 2019 survey, rank of India in food security index is...
Correct. 72 is the right answer. Buffer stock is the stock of food grains procured by the government through... Exactly. FC makes sense and it is right choice. Pathological status due to deficiency, excess or bad assimilation of food.
Solid response. Malnutrition is a valid choice.
During coronavirus pandemic, which dimension of food security was affected?
You're right. All of the above is the correct answer. Do people in other parts of the world have the same level of food security? Valid point. No is true. What is the result of Khadia's involvement in the food security project? Well done. Her family is more food secure is the right choice. What is the main source of income for many people in developing countries? Correct response. By growing crops, gathering food, fishing, or raising animals is the most accurate answer. The government made the law, National Food Security Act, in the year dash. On track, 2013 is the correct answer.
What is the primary goal of organizations working towards food security?
Smart pick. To end hunger and improve global food security is the correct choice. Which demographic is most likely to face food insecurity in Australia? Great thinking. Indigenous people is the right choice. How do many people in developing countries get their food and income? Nice selection. By growing crops, Gathering food, fishing, or raising animals is the correct and valid answer. Which one of these is not a valid reason for food security in India?
Nice work. You chose food grain stores are overflowing with food grains, and it is correct.
What is needed for people to access food if they are unable to work?
Great job. A safety net is the accurate answer.
What is the closest estimate to the amount of food loss each year?
Smart move. 1.3 billion tons is an accurate answer.
Since independence, India is aiming at self-sufficiency in dash.
Well reasoned. Food grains is the correct choice. What did Kadia receive through a local food security project?
Good thinking. Training in a cow is the right answer.
What does availability of food mean for a Vani, Aditi, and a Rav?
You got it? Your choice, all of these is right.
One way by which scientists are trying to help food security is
Clear logic. Your choice, creating a drought and salt-resistant variety of crop, is sound and 100% true.
Scale that measures the access of people or households to food.
Good thinking. FIS is the right answer.
Availability of food to all people at all times is called dash.
Good job. Your answer, food security, works well here.
National Food for Work program was launched in the year dash.
Valid point 2004 is true. Which of the following is not a place with high food security? Right choice. Africa is the best answer.
Nutritional level of food energy is expressed in the form of.
You got it. Your choice I, calorie per day, is right. A large number of food insecure children are under the age of. Exactly. 5 makes sense, and it is right choice.
Which of the following is not the dimension of food security?
Excellent. Durability is a brilliant choice.
Food security means dash to all the people at all the time.
Excellent choice. Availability, accessibility, and affordability of food is the right answer.
The vegetation in biomes is vital to life on Earth because.
Sharp thinking. All of the above is the right choice.
Which of these is not a cause of food insecurity in India?
Well picked. Lack of agriculturable land is the correct answers.
Which of the following factor impact global food security?
Great thinking. Climate is the right choice.
Which of these nations have a low risk of food insecurity?
Nice selection. UK, USA, Canada, Australia is the correct and valid answer.
Buffer stock is the stock of food grains procured by dash.
Well reasoned. FISI is the correct choice.
Food security scale used by the Carnival and the Ansinat.
Solid response. ILSA is a valid choice.
Green Revolution in the 1960s is association with dash.
Correct. Food production is the right answer.
What does the cow's milk provide for Kadia's family?
Smart move. Nutritious food and extra income is an accurate answer.
White revolution of the country is associated with dash.
You chose milk production, and it is correct.
What are the 4 things that are needed to grow food?
Clear logic. Your choice land, water, effort and energy is sound and 100% true.
How can people be involved in improving food security? Strong choice. By visiting the website and getting involved is the right answer. Which of the following is not a risk to food security?
On track. Precision farming is the correct answer.
Food import comes under which food security dimension?
You're right. Availability of food is the correct answer. Which biome below would be the best for growing food? Great job. Grasslands is the accurate answer.
The opposite of food security is best described as. Bravo, food insecurity is the answer.
Physical and economic access to food is known as DASH. Well done. Food accessibility is the right choice. How much of Malaysia's food is produced domestically? Perfect. 70% is the correct choice. Who added a new dimension access to food security? Nicely done. Amartya Sen is a solid answer. When was National Food for Work program launched?
Nice work. You chose 14 November 2004 and it is correct.
What allows supports the appropriate use of food? Smart pick. Knowledge and resources of food is the correct choice.
How much food is wasted in the world every year?
Correct response. A third of it is the most accurate answer. The main purpose of buffer stock scheme is DASH. Right again, both 1 and 2 is a valid answer. What is the Canadian Food Grains Bank's goal? Valid point. To end hunger and improve global food security is true. Food security is needed in a country to DASH. Sharp thinking. Ensure food at all times is the right choice. Continental and polar climate zones are DASH. You're right. Dash cold most of the year with seasonal rain is the correct answer. When was National Food Security Act passed? Correct. 2013 is the right answer. What is meant by the term food security? Smart move. Always having access to enough safe, nutritious food is an accurate answer. Semi-arid and arid climate zones are DASH.
Good job. Your answer dash hot and dry most of the year works well here.
How much food is produced relates to. Right choice. Food availability is the best answer. Can people afford food relates to? Nice selection. Food accessibility is the correct and valid answer.
Is food security and poverty linked?
On track, yes is the correct answer. What provides money to buy food? Strong choice. A job or livelihood is the right answer. Temperate climate zones are DASH. Bravo. Dash cool to warm with seasonal rain periods is the answer. Tropical climate zones are DASH. You chose dash hot and wet most of the year, and it is correct.
What does food security mean?
Smart pick. All of them is the correct choice. Food security means access to. Great job. Safe, nutritious food to sustain a healthy lifestyle is the accurate answer. Chronic hunger refers to dash.
You got it. Your choice both 1 and 2 is right.
Food availability means dash. Great thinking. When people have enough food on a regular basis is the right choice.
How can you access food?
Well, pick it. By buying it or producing it yourself is the correct answer.
Who are food insecure?
Nicely done. All of the above is a solid answer.
FCI stands for dash.
Well done. Food Corporation of India is the right choice.
FCI stands for
Right again. Food Corporation of India is a valid answer.
how you will get all these quiz questions in PDF books format. Clear logic. Your choice contact Narayan Chengda is sound and 100% true.